Hello and welcome to the second episode of Sonic the Hedgehog. Host DaBlueShadow and as a guest TK the Hedgehog. What's up?
How's it going?
So from the last episode we encountered through 3 zones so far: Green Hill, Marble Garden Zone and Spring Yard Zone. And now I've just got the Chaos Emerald straight away, so that's pretty much a new record on getting the 6 Chaos Emeralds straight like that, right?
Pretty much. You definitely beat my record.
Yeah, because it's pretty strange because as I said, that the 3rd and 4th Chaos Emerald is the trickiest because that there's more routes to actually go through in the special stage and you need to know which route to go through, and it's much more bigger. In the 5th and 6th Chaos Emerald, it's much more smaller and it's easier to get from one side to the next side. And I was thinking that wouldn't the difficulty factor be from easiest as getting the 1st Chaos Emerald, and then the 6th Chaos Emerald would be the hardest?
I'm not sure. To be honest, I just go and try to do stuff, and I think that's where I fail. I don't play it enough to find a route like you do to know where to go and whatnot. You know. With Sonic 3 I do. I can beat those but like the back of my hand. That's why I'm doing the Sonic 3 Let's Play. Oh yeah.
Yeah, like would we actually be doing a Sonic 3 and Knuckles? Or actually we're gonna do a Sonic and Knuckles Let's Play. But
no,
are
we're not.
We're not.
Oh yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're doing one Sonic and Knuckles Let's Play. That's the individual. But are we gonna do a together one as well?
We're gonna do Sonic 3, and then we're gonna do Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We're not gonna do Sonic and Knuckles by itself.
What?
No. Well, we could. Yeah, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, like I really just enjoyed just playing Sonic and Knuckles by itself.
Alright, let's do it then. Shoot. It won't be redundant. Let's do it. Because they are honestly 3 different games. Because with Sonic 3, there's different music, there's different elements. With Sonic 3 and Knuckles, different music, longer game, combined, you know, a lot of different elements. Sonic Knuckles, it's just like standalone. So I said, let's do it.
So onto Spring Yard Zone, and did you find this stage any difficult?
No, because I love casino levels, as I mentioned in Sonic 4's Let's Play. The difficulty factor to me wasn't there. It was just, I mean, this isn't really a casino level. It's more of like a city stage. I liked it. I liked it. It was really chilled and laid back. It wasn't just in-your-face platforming and in-your-face enemies and gimmicks and things like that, kind of like Sonic 2's version of the casino stage. This one was more of, you know, just kind of like basic platforming and moving around like we see here. It wasn't... You can get killed by those, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I don't think I did get killed in this one, in this Let's Play. But... yeah, as you said, like there's tons of platforming, and was it interesting to you that it was covered a lot of platforming, but it had no like difficulty factor around it? Because like, you know, when you're just jumping up, or did you expect a much better platforming, such as like spikes that did hit me there, and enemies trying to plow around me if I try to jump into another platform?
I was expecting more traps than enemies, because casino stages aren't really known for their enemies. Like, even Sonic Adventure's casino stage, there's only a couple of spiky spinners in the main hall, and that's it. You know, the elements of the game are elsewhere, all the difficulties elsewhere, and that's how all the casino stages should be. They should be, like, you know, Sonic 4 had the cannons, this one had spikes and platforms that could crush you, which is a lot harder for me than probably you or anyone else. Sonic 2, there was a lot of pinball gimmick and scores, things like that. You could just, it was like you're just bouncing around. Sonic 3's Carnival Zone, you had the cans, the famous can of doom.
Barrel of Doom.
Yep, the Barrel of Doom. You had the water section. It was just a carnival. It was cool. You didn't really worry about enemies, and I think that element has stayed true to the series.
And so much more onto like as you said, casino stuff, and that it does bring some elements from the casino parts, like bashing onto the actual circles in the stage, like the coins and stuff. That actually gives you much more of a higher score, and from that you can actually get more lives, like more extra lives, if you keep on bouncing onto that. So that's like a good tactic if you want infinite lives on Sonic 1, like actually jumping on those score lines, and you can actually get more lives and stuff.
Right. I love spamming the score to get extra lives. It's pretty easy to do, especially in these casino stages, because that's what they're there for. You know, you're kind of like trying to gamble and win some money, but it's with score instead. And man, you gotta love Sega for that element. I love casinos. What can I say? Except when I lose.
Of course, yeah. So just completing Springyard Zone's boss, and did you find that difficult at first when you didn't understand like what Dr. Robotnik's plan was to destroy the platforms? And then like if you didn't jump at the if you didn't stand on the correct platform, you would not even be able to reach onto the actual final platform to actually jump onto the capsule.
At first, sure, yeah.
Yeah.
At first, it was difficult. No, I still have problems with that to this day. That boss is not really one of my favorites. I am not gonna lie, I suck when it comes to the 2D games, except Sonic 3. That one's like, I don't know what it is. I think I played that one the most growing up, and then Sonic 2, and then Sonic 1. Sonic 1, I didn't even really own a copy of it until I was 15 or 16 years old, you know, so yeah. I didn't get to spend that much time with it.
That's very true, because that it's very unforgiving from Sonic 1, because that one of the most like inventful power-up they've actually did for the classic games after Sonic 1 is the spin dash, and that is pretty much one of my favorite upgrades to Sonic ever, because that was a genius move by Sonic Team to actually implement that. And it was very unforgiving in most of the levels here, because if we did have the spin dash technique for Sonic 1, with this Sonic, it would be much more easy to go through these levels, because you're much more protected.
Exactly.
Rather than, yeah, that's what most people, I'm guessing, had much trouble with, because like you would have to gain more speed to actually roll and feel unprotected. And Sonic 1 does not have much slopes at all. It's very horizontal, it's just flat, and you just can't really get much momentum.
That's true. The game, yeah, you're right, it's really flat. Me personally, just like I said, Sonic 1 was the first Sonic game I ever played. That was like in like 1991. I was 3 years old. I don't remember it. So Sonic 2 is the first one I ever owned. Sonic 3, and then so on throughout all the years. I turned 16, I'm like, I gotta get Sonic 1, man. I'm missing out on Sonic's history here. I get it. I'm like, oh my gosh, you cannot do spin dash. What the flip? And I never knew that. I never realized that, you know, growing up. So, yeah, I think that's one reason why the fans are it's kind of disconnected. You know, Sonic 1's in its own genre, and then you have Sonic 2 through like Sonic 3D Blast in its own genre, then Sonic Adventure through Sonic Heroes, and so on and so on. And just to touch up on the spin dash thing, I miss it a lot. We haven't seen it since like 06, and in 06 it was nerfed. It was like so nerfed. It wasn't the real spin dash. It was kind of like a roll charge type of thing.
Yeah.
And
yeah. They did kind of bring the spin dash back as an animation in Sonic Generations, I'm guessing. You know, when while you're boosting, it does bring the spin dash animation up.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't. It's not of course, it's not the same. You know, classic Sonic had the spin dash, and of course that was fun. That was super fun. I spammed it too much, and I loved every minute of it. I don't care what the complainers say. It was not overpowered. It's in 3D. Come on, you know, it's on the big screen now. It's not overpowered. The levels are vast. But we need to see the spin dash come back to 3D Sonic instead of just boosting. We definitely, spin dash is one of his signature moves. Why take it away in favor of something that's even more cheap and even more spammable.
So much more onto the stage, Labyrinth Zone. What are your thoughts on Labyrinth Zone? I know pretty much everyone pretty much hates the Zone because it's, the generic water stage.
Being that this isn't the first water stage I've ever played. So when I went back and played Sonic 1, I was actually surprised to see this stage. And it was pretty fun. To me, I didn't hate it. I loved the music. It's just kind of like, the music kind of teases you. It's like, hey, I'm a happy music, but this is not a happy stage. And I did find myself dying a lot when I first played it. But it was all good fun. No complaints.
So, because Labyrinth Zone, this interrupts Sonic's speed a lot, and pretty much everyone in the franchise loves Sonic mainly for its speed. So I can see why people would say this is the worst stage, because that interrupts Sonic's speed so much, and I can't really even tell one part of the stage that you're going super fast.
Yeah, that's true. There's there's some sections that you do move really quickly, like the infinite falling area that we'll see, I'm sure. Yeah, they I don't know, they did a good job making it a hybrid, I guess.
Yeah, because I love the mixtures of these type of stages, water stages, because it shows the difference of what happens when Sonic's not moving completely fast, because you're actually interrupted by the platforming. And I see this theory in many water stages for Sonic games is that it's just on the speed of collecting your awareness of the bubbles instead of the awareness of the whole stage. It's about how fast you can react to it, from knowing when could Sonic drown and when you can actually collect the bubbles. So there's a different test of speed judgment, which I kind of enjoyed in Labyrinth Zone.
Yeah, you have to adjust yourself to the different physics. That's one thing I do enjoy about the water stages. It adds to the suspense. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna drown. What? It's gonna change your whole method of playing the game. That to me is what's lacking in the 3D games. If you notice, we haven't really seen a water stage from Sonic 3 and Knuckles all the way until Sonic Colors, I believe. And that's the first time we see a full bona fide Sonic water stage for Sonic's gameplay. We see him for Knuckles and Rouge throughout the years. We see him for some other characters, but it's like something's missing here, and you can tell that it's missing. Because there's no elements to really slow you down in these new games. They try to make it all about speed, but that's not really what Sonic was always about. Yes, it's in his character, he's fast, but as you can tell, he's not moving very fast right now, is he? And this is Sonic 1 we're talking about,
Because it's the actual substance and environment of being heavy on the water, really just taking physics into complete understanding that you can't run very fast in water because of the actual rate of the water pressuring you down.
Exactly, and in this case, it's more about exploration, definitely. You're trying to get out of there, of course, before you drown. That speed element is there, but at the same time, how are you going to get out if you don't know what path to take? So they kind of forced you to explore different routes to get to the top.
Yeah, definitely. And I have survived Act 2 of Labyrinth Zone.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so Act 3 kind of started. I think Act 3 was definitely the most challenging one out of it, because that at the end it starts putting more spikes in, starts putting more stuff coming at you out of the blue, and if you kind of get hit by it, it's gonna make you fall right back to the wall or back down where you came from, because it's much more climbing. You jump down most of the time in Act 3 at the start, and then you plowed your way through going up until you fight the boss.
Yeah, I think this is the first time we ever see something like that, where it's kind of like a chase type of thing. I don't know. like I remember in Sonic 4, you spend your time in a zone just like this, chasing Dr. Robotnik. But I can't remember if they added that element into this stage.
I don't think so. Like chasing Dr. Robotnik, you say?
Right.
Oh yeah, actually yes. For the actual boss, yeah, you chase Dr. Robotnik in this one.
Nice. That's what I thought.
And with this boss, I think it was pretty genius how they did it, because the Dr. Robotnik was running away from Sonic while the water was pressurizing him. So Sonic had to jump through all these obstacles. And if you're really good at this game, like I think you need about 5 or 6 hits to hit him, and you can actually defeat Dr. Robotnik before he actually runs away. Because regardless or not, you can complete the actual final boss here without even touching Eggman at all, which most people do. Like there's more careful about not getting the rings taken away from the obstacles or the spikes that's trying to hit them. And if you're really fast, you can actually get all of Dr. Robotnik, hit him all the time, and he's just gets blown away, and then you just jump in the capsule and that's it.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that there was such strategy involved. Of course, you know me, I just go along with it and hit it whenever I can, and then try to survive. But that's pretty cool that there's a strategy to actually kill him or defeat him without even touching him. That's neat.
It's making me feel like I'm like older than you. So yeah, it's like many people say, like they say that Sonic 1's a simple game, but it's just like so frustrating in the eye. But I always see it as a gem, and I always wanted like many of the mechanics of Sonic 1 put into the other 2D Sonic games, which they have not done, but instead they've given us much more fun levels to play as, speed levels, and what showcases Sonic's speed up much more better. Because in Sonic 1 there's much more platforming, and it feels much more of a platformer than any other 2D Sonic game I've ever played.
Right. Yeah, me personally, I'm gonna have to disagree with you there. I did not like the physics in Sonic 1, but I didn't like it as a kid when I first played it. What drew me to the series was Sonic 2. I would personally like to see those physics implemented throughout the series, and the speed dash to me was better in Sonic 2 than it even was in Sonic 3. In Sonic 2, it was just kind of like you need the spin dash, right now. You need it now to do a certain thing. In Sonic 3, it was kind of like, it's optional. You maybe need it to get around a loop or something, In Sonic 2, it was like, oh, I need this, I'm gonna use it. But I don't know, that could just be me talking. It's been a while since I've played any of the classics.
I think a lot of people definitely agree with you there. I think a lot of people would definitely agree with that. Sonic 2 physics is the best one out of the classic games, or Sonic 3 as